Just like, what?
So, thank you all for coming. My name is Tobias Mann, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about blogging as a professional career. So, to get started, I'd like to talk about what blogging is to begin with, because it's a little bit different from journalistic writing and traditional novelistic columnist kind of things. And it really comes down to the things you can do on the web are a lot different from what you can do with traditional media. With the web, you can converge video, photography, written text into a melding of media that tells a story far more coherently than a single media on its own. So the term comes from weblog, which rather rapidly became just simply blog. Easier to say, better recognized, and it became pretty well known that way. Early blogs such as Ars Technica got started in 1998, and they started out as one of the only web publications, online only, and now they are owned by the same parent company as Wired Magazine. So they're one of the few that actually made it through the .com burst and all that. Blogging is distinctly different from journalism, though it's not mutually exclusive. Journalists can blog, bloggers can be journalists, but they're not recognized the same way, and they do a lot of do the same things differently. So bloggers are also seen more often as more authentic and far more real in how they tell their stories, because they're not confined to inverted pyramid style or doing it a very carbon copy way. So bloggers write about all kinds of things. They write about lifestyle, they write about products, reviews, photography, what have you. It doesn't really matter what they write about, they just have to be interested in it. Bloggers simply write what they know. So being an expert in something is really key if you're going to be a blogger. Some examples of very popular blogs: The Verge, Huffington Post, even CNN went from being in TV broadcast only medium to having multiple blogs on things like politics, news, current events, technology, what have you. So what do bloggers do? Well, put it simply, bloggers write. But it's more important that they're writing and where they're writing. They have a lot of freedom. They can write about whatever they want in a form that they choose, and the marketplace of people are going to choose whether they're successful or not. A lot of it's driven by advertising, and there are a lot of positions that are professional or self-employed. So writers who publish their work online and aren't limited to the limited scope of traditional media. They can act as commentators or pseudo-journalists or journalists in reality. So the physical demands are not all that strenuous on bloggers. Most are self-employed or remote correspondents, so they can write where they're most comfortable. And the deadline issue still comes up among freelance bloggers, but self-employed bloggers typically can set their own schedules, write when they want to, as often as they want to. Like I said, the work environment varies heavily on whether or not they're professionally employed, working for some kind of publication in an office, or if they're working remotely or from home. Many well-established blogs more closely resemble journalistic institutions. Education, technically there is no education required to be a blogger. You have to be able to write, you have to be able to write fairly well, but there's no degree you need, at least not yet. But according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, if you want to do any kind of blogging in a professional setting, whether it's for a news source or professional publication like the Huffington Post, you're going to likely need a degree in communication or journalism. Self-employed bloggers may find a degree in anything useful when they're talking about it, especially a photography major might not find great work doing photography, but they might make money writing about it. So career preparation, being a blogger does require a range of technical skills, and it's important that they have them. the most important one is being able to use a computer. That's what they're going to be using to write. And they have to be able to use content management systems like Blogger, WordPress, Drupal, etc. Because that's what the professional environments are going to use. If they move up, those are going to stay the same. But experience working with video equipment, with photographic equipment, is useful as well. And understanding mass communication theory can also be a big benefit to finding an audience. So required knowledge, bloggers must be familiar with these blogging platforms, but they also have to be intimately familiar with what they're writing about. They have to have some kind of authenticity and authority in what they're writing about, otherwise nobody's going to take them seriously. So some job-related interests, this is a tough one to pin down because bloggers write about what they know. There's nothing specific to them, but enjoying going on the internet, social media, those are all good things to enjoy, as well as an interest in photography, an interest in your lifestyle, raising your kids. People write about that all the time. You just need to have something, and it doesn't really matter what it is. Bloggers just write what they know about. So hiring practices, varies from place to place. I looked at a couple of job openings at a mobile technology blog as well as a viral media blog. And most of them require you to send in some kind of writing sample, and then they'll evaluate that, decide whether or not you're qualified to work for them, and then they'll move on further from there. Because many of them are remote correspondence, they are often done entirely online. So wage information for bloggers is quite limited because the Bureau of Labor Statistics doesn't have any information on them yet. It's a very new career, roughly 18 or so years of actual abundance. But writers, which is a similar career, make about $55,940 a year, roughly $26.89 an hour. Career outlooks for writers is okay, it's not great, which really surprised me, with a job outlook of 3% growth from 2012 to 2022. Like I said, the Bureau of Labor Statistics doesn't have any data on bloggers yet. Advancements opportunities. This actually surprised me quite a bit because there are actually quite a few advancements opportunities. Bloggers get picked up by sponsors all the time. They work with companies, especially lifestyle bloggers will get picked up by the companies to work as consultants for helping design and market products, as well as with online publications that are well established, there's room for advancements to editorial positions and management. So 2 job openings I talked a little bit about earlier. Into Mobile is a mobile technology blog based out of San Francisco. They had 2 openings for mobile technology editorialists writing about iPhones and Android phones, which I found particularly interesting, as well as Urban Twist, which was a viral media and news outlet, which focused more on news gathering and production, finding things that you think will go viral, and as soon as they do, having it ready to go out. So am I still interested in this career? Maybe not as much as I was before, but I'm still very interested in this kind of new frontier. So the web is the 21st century Wild West. I'm definitely still interested in this career, just maybe not as much as I used to be. Unknowns mean opportunities, and the idea of using converging media to tell stories is the reason why I went to journalism school to begin with. Thank you all very much.